Here's a very important story. It's taking place in Los Angeles. It's taking place in NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana. And it has to do with a 22-year-old being shot 12 times in the back. This is a result of a police shooting. There's a lot of questions that are going to now be raised by the family, and we have been able to put together this special report that you're about to see by our own Sean Calebs.
As fireworks exploded near the French Quarter on New Year's Eve, 22-year-old Adolph Grimes, or Chris, as he's known to his family, just pulled up to his grandmother's New Orleans home after a 5-hour drive from Houston.
He made it for 12 o'clock, exactly, with seconds to spare.
A scant 3 hours later, he lay dying on the sidewalk, a half a block from his grandmother's front door, fireworks giving way to the hue of flashing police lights. The Orleans Parish coroner says Grimes was shot 14 times, including 12 times in the back.
The violence has to stop. My child, will not be meaningless.
And Grimes didn't die at the hand of common street thugs. He was shot and killed by New Orleans police officers. The family wants to know why. Why cops descended on a young man with no police record who graduated from one of the most prestigious high schools in the city.
Have the police told you anything?
No. I know just as much as you know.
The police department won't release the names of the officers involved or the shooting report, saying the investigation is ongoing. But Police Superintendent Warren Riley says Grimes shot at police first when plainclothes officers surrounded Grimes' car. Riley says officers are trained to fire when fired upon and fire more than one shot. The FBI is now investigating following a request from the Grimes family.
We think that families should do everything they can to make sure that this investigation is as thorough and complete as possible so that they know the truth.
Grimes had a gun and a legal permit to carry the weapon. Authorities also say they found a shotgun in the car's trunk. The 22-year-old, according to family members, had just walked out the front door and was in a car waiting for his cousin when the shooting started. Grimes' relatives don't believe for a minute that he opened fire first.
Collapse right here.
And the family attorney believes the investigation will show rogue cops and sloppy police work.
We know the FBI is going to do a full and complete investigation, and we're hoping that criminal charges be brought against all of these officers for the execution in this case.
It doesn't make sense, the family says over and over. A young man who has never been arrested or in trouble with the law. A loving father with a good job. A grieving mother and father say they won't be silenced and say they are not worried about a code of silence among officers, the so-called blue wall.
The wall is going to come down just like the walls of Jericho came down.
Good story put together there by Sean Calebs and Jason Morris. You know, you hear this family, they seem angry and frustrated. What is the source of that beyond what we saw? Because it almost looks like there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye here.
Yeah, there really is. Firstly, the reason he even got there at midnight, he evacuated to Houston after Hurricane Katrina, and it's a tradition that he always spend New Year's with his family. So he rented a car, got there just a few hours before the shooting. The family is really upset because they've gotten absolutely no information from the authorities. They're not talking with the family. We know that Superintendent Riley apparently is now going to try and talk with the family tomorrow. We just got that word a short while ago. But they have so many questions. Why all these undercover narcotics officers? Why did they descend on this car? They allege that there was a shooting in the area, but there's no record of gunshots being fired, no complaint that has been filed.
Well, and you know, the sorest thumb of all in all of this, the thing that's in plain view that makes everyone probably wonder what the hell's going on, is the 12 shots in the back. I mean, how do you explain somebody being shot 12 times in the back?
Look, it gets worse. I want to show you something. We bought these here in the city. These are the same kind of bullets that city police use. There are 48 here. That's how many bullets were actually fired that night. That information coming from the defense attorney. He's been told 48 shots. So we know that he was hit 14 times, 12 in the back. The superintendent of police here takes issue with that. He says, well, some of them were actually in the side. But look, this information is coming from the coroner. The coroner got his information out there, Frank Minyard, as quickly as possible because there are so many questions. There's a real controversy brewing here. The FBI is involved. Ministers are involved. The NAACP is involved. This is a story that isn't going away, Rick.
Stay on it for us. We appreciate it, Sean. Job well